It ain't even about the dough. It's about getting down with what you standing for. Somebody in the comments said I should wear these shirts. And it's like, I do have like 5 trillion of them. They're kind of my brand. And it's cold. So, I think I'm going to. I've always gotten a couple of comments when I go to Dunkin' Donuts. It's like, why don't you brew your own coffee? I do. Then I use the cup the next day. I both buy and produce coffee. Okay, that's how committed I am. Oh yeah, I had an idea last night. I better say this before I forget. I think I'm gonna make a clips channel. Let me know in the comments whether a clips channel is something you would feel like watching. The reason is because, like, I know these episodes are sometimes kind of long and a lot of people like that. But sometimes people don't, like, literally don't actually have time to watch like a 30-minute episode or something like that, you know? And I also feel like there are these things that happen in a lot of the episodes that would be good as like a couple minute clip, like a 3-4 minute clip. Like sometimes it's just a rant I have about some thoughts, or sometimes it's like some procedure I'm doing. And like, I just don't know why I've never made a clips channel yet. So let me know. I mean, I really only want to do it if people would subscribe to it, because then what's the point otherwise? Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in a clips channel. Just taking the little spicy nugs out of each episode, you know? Man, I need it this morning. All right, let's check out what we made. This is a classic right here. This is like a Chinese dragon. This was one of the most involved prints I made back in the day, because you actually have to print the claws separate. I mean, you actually can plate the claws here, but they sometimes have a habit of falling over and then it ruins the whole thing. I just found it's much less of a headache just to make them separate. Little T-Rex skull. I definitely think we're making more skulls next year, because these things do sell pretty consistently and have for a long time. People love the T-Rex. Guitar snake middle. Ran out of the black here, but it'll paint up fine. Got Mr. Octo Boy here done, and the tentacles came out fine. None of them fell over. Very good. Got another beef oven. One of you guys, one of the Gratitude Gang, bought my Chihuahua dish. I think after seeing it in that episode a few episodes ago, it is pretty cool. This is going to be, of course, metallic gold. Got some supports to take off and stuff, but these are very nifty. Big T-Rex skull. Another big T-Rex skull. We haven't been using the big printers quite as much because I'm selling a lot of the stuff that I built up in the spare room. We did get some big things yesterday / last night, so you might be seeing some more big prints, but we did a good job of saving up, you know. Man, I feel like I should be solving crimes in some kind of 80s TV show or something. Maybe if I'm going to be wearing these ridiculous shirts, maybe I need to get a mustache. I'm just going to go full Magnum PI, you know. So here's something kind of interesting. A lot of times when you see me with the earbuds in, who I'm listening to is Adam Savage. He does, I wish he had more long form content. Like, it'd be very cool if he did like a podcast talking about making and things, because that's sort of what he does now. But he was talking about, like, you know, I don't know if you guys watched Mythbusters. Probably a lot of you did. You're 3D printing people. Maybe you're just not old enough. I don't know. He was talking about how, like, they were really trying to make art. And, like, obviously they made quite a bit of money, especially when the series became really popular. Had a real good run, obviously. But, I don't know. It just made me think about a lot of stuff. One thing he was kind of touching on is there's a lot of people that think, like, one of the reasons I'm not just trying to make money, although I'm obviously trying to make money, there's like a thing beyond that. The thing you realize once you're sort of a competent business person is like you could kind of do a lot of stuff. You know, it's not like it's pretty hard to be successful. Obviously, it's hard to find things that people will buy and so on. But at a certain point, you realize you kind of have some options and you can kind of pursue this. It's really more based on what you become competent at. And so it's like one of the problems with having the mindset that I just want to make money. Like people, this is one of the big questions in business that it feels like nobody answers. It's like, what's wrong with that, right? And like, I am a capitalist, okay? Don't get me wrong. I have started 7 or 8 businesses, something like that, depending on what you count. I love making money. I love making a good product, the whole thing. Obviously, I'm here, I built all this. The problem with just pursuing money is because at some point you realize you can do it. Like when you're starting out in business, it doesn't feel like you can make money. So like having this goal of like, I just want to make money, at a certain point that kind of is ambitious, right? Like you just don't know how to do it. You don't know how to make products. You don't know how to like advertise things and write copy and all the BS that you have to do. But at some point it's like you just kind of figure out how to do it, you know, to some extent. It's like obviously this is a gradient. Some people are really good at it. Some people are like just staying profitable is a continual challenge for them, I guess. But then it's like, okay, well, what do I do? Like, what do I do beyond that? Like, we're here. I'm making money. What now? You know, good example right here. We're going to ship this to somebody today. I haven't checked the messages yet, but we'll see who won. Like, obviously, when you make this, you do want people to buy it, right? You know, you want this to be, you're making it crazy looking because you're thinking like, well, people will see this and they'll think it's cool or weird or whatever, and then they'll add it to cart, then they'll buy it. So of course, the profit motive is definitely there, don't get me wrong. But you kind of don't make crazy stuff like that just because you want to make money. You make stuff like that because it would be cool if people bought it. Meaning like it would be cool if you were the guy that makes those things, you know? And plus it's like, maybe that's a strange example, but with the sharks and stuff, people send me pictures of those sharks up in their surf shop or their beach house or something like that. And it's kind of like cool to be contributing to something that feels like it's in your own marginal way making the world kind of more pleasant and more fun. I'm not knocking what other people do in 3D printing. Like, there's a lot of very functional, practical prints that people make money with. Like, there are people that make 3D printing stuff for drones, right? And I just don't care about drones. I don't really know about them very much. You know, a lot of those prints aren't beautiful or interesting. They're just really functional. But they're super useful for people that do drones, right? I think what I'm trying to get at is that at a certain point, you kind of know how to make money, and then it's like, well, what's beyond that? What's a higher thing to aim at? And there's a lot of answers to that, but just saying, oh, I just want to make money doesn't really, it's just not that high a goal. I won't rant about this forever, but this is something I kind of learned from Steve Jobs. Like I said before, Steve Jobs was kind of a dick in person. Like he definitely was, but he was an artist. And like, you know, especially during his era, Apple products were art. I mean, that there's so much that people are still like, it's like a cult or something, you know. I am recording on an Apple product right now. And like, it's just a different thing. It's like, yeah, he knew for sure that he could make a smartphone that people would buy. Okay, like at some point Steve Jobs kind of figured out, like, we got this. Like, we can make things that people will buy. But then what? Right? At some point, it's like, let's make these things beautiful. Let's make them as beautiful as we can. And then you remember the, 90s, 80s babies. We remember the iMacs in the late 90s, early 2000s, whatever they were. The ones that were all the cool colors, like candy colors. Nobody had ever made a computer, a personal computer, beautiful before. And it's like, Apple didn't have to do that, right? Like, they could have just had all the same components, same functionality, and just put it in another brown container, like every personal computer was. Like, of course. There was no reason to, like, make these sleek frames that they were in the box and, like, the beautiful colors. There was no reason to do that. I mean, you can say, like, oh, well, it kind of became a viral sensation, but I'm just saying, like, and it's good marketing. I guess there's a reason to do that, but if you're only focused on making money, that is a low goal. There is something beyond that, and making the world sort of more beautiful and getting a little bit of yourself out there, a little expression of what you're about and what your values are. Basically, it all ultimately points to virtue. Even in that kind of silly case of Apple, like beauty. Making the world beautiful is a virtue. And, like, that's how you should think about making money. Maybe that's what the point of this rant is. Like, making money is great, but it's just the ground level. It's like, what do we build above that? And generically speaking, what we build above that is virtue. We have chosen gratitude as our favorite virtue, but they're all important. So I guess that explains in some sense what I'm doing here. Got the bees buzzing. I feel like I need another analogy. I got the buffalo trampling. Got the elephants stampeding. Got the horses galloping. Now it's time for that sweet, sweet coffee. I don't know what's gotten into me. I feel like a whole different person wearing something this ridiculous. I'm not sure I'm cool enough for this. Yup, Texas has the rainy season. Hot coffee, ooh, hot coffee. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me coffee I desire. Let's package some things. It's the Silver Tupac. Here's the stone finish Marcus Aurelius. We do sell these every once in a while, but man, look how cool that guy is. This guy knew some stuff right here. Forgot to video the before, but this is a gold T-Rex. A gorgeous blue T-Rex. Wolf, I already got his paws under here. But yeah, very cool black and white wolf fade. A Moai. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we have a winner with the Terror Horror Death Slug. That's gonna get sent out, but they actually ordered a pug trash can from me as well. So they're gonna have a nice little collection there. A very surly Beethoven. Another stone finish Marcus, this time with the headphone hook. Man, these guys are gorgeous. Makes me want to make like a giant one and just have it around because it's so cool. Time to ship the big old otter. You otter appreciate it. Very special German Shepherd dish. Came out nice and shiny too. The Allosaur, and it came out beautiful. Gandalf pipe. Maybe my favorite thing about Chihuahuas is their little necks. Like, when you kind of do that to the top of their neck and they just get that stupid look on their face. They just have like little chicken necks, and there's just something about that that's like really funny to me. I won't go on and on about this, but some really good discussions happening on the Discord server. If you haven't added me on Facebook from the link on the main YouTube page and message me for an invite, I suggest you do so. I'm just telling you, it's great. We've got a few orders with the drumstick hangers. Yep, making sure I got all the pairs. So we're gonna knock those out, they're easy. Moai 3, what a good looking boy. Really great looking white David. Panko crusted pork, pistachios, and of course the salt lick sauce. Time to do Sharky. Let's do these eyes. White David. Doing a few big Sharkos. You know the drill. Here we have another Sharky. We're doing a bunch. Shark number 3. Doing a hammerhead. One last big thing for the day. Raptor skull. Just needs a little touch up. Large D20 can. This little guy is going gold. All right, we're gonna do before. This one's gold, also gold. Obviously black and white fade. Blue, these are gonna be gray. And after photo. Good looking Sharkies, blue Sharkies. Gold came out really good. And yeah, that's a golden shark. That's only the second one that's ever sold. And of course we have the classic raptor skull. Just got a bunch of big things done. Got all the bison galloping, the whales a flocking. Time to wrap it up. Yeah. Well, we got about 3 or 4 weeks left of Christmas season. In about 2 weeks, we'll be through the thickest of it. But it is getting pretty nuts. Sales were pretty crazy today. People are getting into that last minute shopping thing. Well, let's read the Discord questions. Like I've said before, if you want to get priority on questions or comments for the videos, for the previous videos, there's a thread on Discord for that. Friend me on Facebook and message me if you want to be part of the Discord. Spire on Discord asks me, what niche has done the best for me? I guess it has to be headphone stands. It's a niche that I actually invented, so it was big enough that several companies were formed to knock me off, so that probably has to be the answer. Colorado Creative Customs on Discord asks, do you ever blow breakers with all those printers? Not really. I've arranged them so that I mapped out the system, the breakers and stuff with the outlets, and it's not that hard to avoid that. VOB by Kurt asks, is the heat gun for getting rid of stringing or smoothing out layer lines? It's for getting rid of stringing. Although every once in a while you have some overhangs, I guess you could call it layer lines, and you can kind of smooth out the overhangs. Generally, you just want to design your models so that there aren't significant overhangs unless you just absolutely have to, and then you make, you guys probably know this stuff, but you just make the bridging as small as you can. But yeah, even in some of the geometric things that I've designed and like the products I have, you'll notice that there's very, very rarely any kind of 90-degree thing. Like, if anything else, I'll just make it like about that. Z3R0 Byte has pointed out that yes, the broken TV is right here. I don't know why I haven't thrown it away yet. It just feels like, I mean, I will. It just makes me sad. Like, look at those meme stickers. We lost a good man. I should memorize some lines from that movie, Gangs of New York. but I don't know any, so. That man gave me the finest beating of my life. Well, you guys know what time it is. Time for the gratitude gang up. Write in the comments what you are grateful for. Tell me about the most embarrassing incident you've ever had with your father-in-law. I want to get real specific. It's time for us to get to know each other, okay? Tell me what the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened between you and your father-in-law or involving your father-in-law, because it's totally my business. I mean, I deserve to know this. Why haven't you told me already? But you can also tell me about any kind of mundane but joyful activity. You can tell me about your coffee. You can tell me about anything. Tell me what projects you're working on. And remember to join the Discord. I feel like I've said that a little too much this episode, but we will prioritize reading your comments and questions on Discord because the Treehouse Bros just get priority, okay? But as usual, I am barely conscious, so, oh yeah, I need to be grateful for something. You know, actually, not to just be totally redundant, but I had some good conversations on Discord. A couple of the homies out there know exactly what I'm talking about. It was actually really, really good, and I am quite grateful for that. And I'm also grateful that I've decided to start wearing the shirts, which I am not wearing right now for some reason. Mainly because it got real hot, and that does not make sense. But yeah, we'll see you next week on the next episode. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. Peace.